Welcome to week 5 of the 6-week belly dance course for intermediates with me, Lindsay Marie Silver, here at Little Egypt Studio in Scotland. In this session, you might want to grab a notebook and a pen, maybe have an extra layer that you can put on like a sweater, and be prepared for a little bit of theory combined with also practical aspect of the dance as well. I'm going to break down the musicality for you into the fine details. What I'll do is I'll pop that all in the description for you as the video goes up on YouTube. And I'm also going to give you a really lovely opportunity to dance this piece with a veil for sections of that, or maybe the whole thing. I'll let you decide. But here we go. We're going to dive in. There's going to be gorgeousness aplenty. This is delicious. Coming into center, into full alignment. Figure of 8 through your hip. Frame that with those gorgeous arms. Traveling. Reverse. Center. Drop through the hip. Shoulders. Shoulder shimmy. Circle. Figure of camel. Figure of 8 with the camel. Wow, that was absolutely gorgeous. How did you feel? Really good to come down into your body, isn't it? Let's just stand together for a moment in a basic stance. Let's do a full body shimmy, an earthquake shimmy, to come down from busy mind. Remind your body what it feels like to be truly in, to be all in, present in the moment. Relax your shoulders, relax your arms. And gradually coming into stillness. And in stillness, bring one hand to heart space and one hand down at sacred life force energy space. You can take a wide stance and bring a deep breath in. Expand the belly with the breath. Expand the rib cage. Suspend the breath. Notice your heart rate. And as you breathe out, breathing out fully, releasing any tension. And staying close to the breath and staying close to the heartbeat. As you come down deeper and deeper into your body, and ask yourself, how are you? Really, how are you? How do you feel? Tune into your story as it is right now, and your story, and all the lessons. Tuning into the longing, perhaps. And let that all be a vehicle within this piece. This piece is a vehicle to really explore that and perhaps to work through it. We are our own medicine people, and I really, really strongly believe in the benefits of body, mind, and spirit of dance. Okay, woohoo! All of that loveliness helps to infuse what we're doing next. So next, I would really like to play for you the piece of music that we are setting this organic, sacred choreography to. So the piece of music is called Yearning, and it's by Raul Ferrando. I couldn't get that out there. My apologies. The piece of music, the particular one we're using, you might find a couple of different versions, but tends to be mostly this one that we're using that you'll find most widely. It's 4 minutes and 54 seconds long. It's a 4/4 rhythm. We're going to break down the musicality of it whilst you enjoy having an exploration of improvisation, tuning into yourself deeper, where you're at, your own story, and you could practice some of the movements that we're going to be utilizing as well. So what I'm literally going to do here for you is I'm going to play the music, and I'm just going to chat to you whilst it's on about the different sections of this piece. I'll give you a few sort of pointers within there, things that are of relevance or might be beneficial in terms of opening up your creativity further. We're working, of course, with that masculine and feminine aspect that we see very often in Middle Eastern dance. And we're also working with the balance between the two of them. The polarity, but also that connection point where one becomes the other and vice versa. So we're going to work through this. Enjoy moving in any way that works for you as we do so, like I say. The other thing just to mention is that I'm going to add all of this. I'm going to type this all up for you. It's going to take me quite a long time, but it'll be totally worth it. I'm going to type this all up and pop it in the description of the YouTube video. So it'll be there for you when this video appears on YouTube. I'll pop the timestamp in there as well so that it's easy for you to scoot forward and find it. Okay, so that will really, really, really help you with your practicing and just your knowledge and understanding of the piece. All right, so here we go. Help yourself to some hydration if you would like some before we start. And, of course, if you want to write this down, grab your notebook and your pen right now. And what you'll find is actually, if you write something, you remember it. There's actually studies that have been done on that. So you might want to do that. All right, here we go. So starting the piece now, and it starts off with an unmeasured intro. Here we go. This is unmeasured intro, it's feminine. And this is a section where you'll be traveling in with a figure of 8. And those sweeping arms. And after this, you hear the music quicken. And we got the measured intro, which is doom. Yep, so you got this combination going on. Next one you've got is a tuck of the hips. You got doom tack on your right hip. Tilt. Other side, doom tack, drop lift, yep. Taka, drop lift, tuck, drop lift, tilt shimmy. Then we're going straight into Saidi. It starts with Saidi, which is a masculine aspect, but it's quite softly done. Doom, tack, doom, doom. You got 4 that side, and then you're going to switch to the other side. Doom, tack. We've got that nice framing with the arms. You'll start to feel that gradually build up. The tension is building. It's moving from a strictly feminine aspect. Feel it building to this first crescendo crescendo, where the Saidi goes strong. Then we're moving into the figure of 8, the feminine. It's a vertical 8. My necklace is stuck. Oh, there we go. Slow it right down and breathe. Hips are in neutral. Feel it building. Here we go. Get ready and it starts off Saidi, which is masculine, but it's quite soft, and then it starts to grow as we move towards crescendo 2. Here it is. The feminine, soft, breathe, slow it down, really allow the music to guide you, actively listen. Feel it start to build again, really gradually it's going to build again, listen for it. Hey. Get ready, this is crescendo 3. It's the biggest one of the lot. Switch. Feminine. We're descending now, descending down. Tune into your breath. Take deep breaths. Slow it right down. Coming towards the end of the piece. And remember, we're going to walk off with that shoulder roll. You could slow that right down even further at the end. And eventually you're going to walk off and your audience are applauding that whole way through. Allow them to continue applauding. And even if something has switched up and the next change up is happening, just really stay with that until you leave that dance area. Why is that? Couple of reasons. One is that your audience are going to be left with that feeling and they're going to have time to process, because this is a piece that it's not just a dance, it is literally women's history in motion, collectively, individually. And stuff like that needs time to be processed so you can actually absorb what you've just seen, isn't it? So allow them that time, just really slow down into it, and for yourself as well, because chances are, if you're really in with this, if you're in, then something shifted within you. So you want that time just to come back. I think I might have had my head raised at the end there, but actually remember, we want to just, it's not so dropped as it is at the beginning, but it's sort of calm, confident. It's a confidence that doesn't need to fully assert itself. It just is. The The first couple of times you do this, you might need to method act that, you might need to act that. But what you'll find is that the process of this takes over, and actually it's not acting, it is literally you are, wow, spirit moves through you. And you kind of get out of the way of that, and you're just the messenger. You become the dance rather than the dancer, if that makes sense. So that is a breakdown of the whole piece. And I'll tell you what, for a piece that actually has such a lot happening within it, it's gorgeous to be able to break that down in such a simplistic way that it actually is able to speak to people. Remember we said sometimes it's not what a dancer does on stage, sometimes it's what they don't do. So we're working with that most simplistic so the message can travel through and really hit home. Whatever your message is, of course. And so I wanted just one little point I wanted to mention is that in the section of 3 minutes and 48, there's a little violin tremble. It's in there, it's a little tremble, and it's right amidst that massive, the third of the 3 crescendos. It's the biggest one, but there's a little violin tremble going on in there. Listen for that, and maybe just have a little think about what could you do with that? How could you really pull that out? I'll let you play around with that. Okay, amazing. Amazing. So what we're going to do now is we're going to dance the piece through, and I'm going to give you the opportunity here to dance it with a veil. Now, we've been working with the masculine and the feminine energy. Would you say that dancing with a veil for you represents more of a masculine energy or a feminine energy? There's no real right or wrong answer to that, and actually dancing with a veil can be both. So you could dance with a soft feminine energy, or you could dance with quite a masculine energy. So it can be both. So you could actually dance the entire piece with the veil, dancing the masculine and the feminine aspects with the veil as well. Or you could literally just use the veil at certain sections. So what you can do is bring the veil in behind you, and as you work through here, in the masculine aspect, you're not using the veil, you switch to the other side. And then when it comes to the feminine, you're working with the, of course being careful not to stand on the long edges I just did there. You're working with the veil. So then, as the feminine aspect comes along, you can really start to play around with it and then bring it in behind you to start with the next Saidi section. You get me? The other thing that you might choose to do is perhaps accent just one of the 3 crescendos. That might be an option. In which case you might choose to wear the veil. In the next session, I'm going to show you a couple of ways that you can wear the veil, and it looks really beautiful, but it's also very effective for having it as a tool to dance with, and your audience don't even expect what's coming next. Okay, so let's dive in then. Let's pop this on. So we're going to be starting, of course, with the entrance. So you might want to just have your veil behind you. Of course, you don't have to work with a veil at all if you'd rather not. It's merely giving you that as an extra layer, an extra dimension, adding a more dynamic aspect to your dance. Okay, here we go. So as soon as you hear the music, we're coming in really slowly. The head is lowered. Here we go. So it's the unmeasured intro. And it's that figure of 8, it's horizontal. Slow it right down now. Get ready, raise your hands. head. Next dome is your hips. And then we've got right side drop lift. Ready, doom tack. Tilt, other side drop lift. Taka, rib cage. Drop lift right, tuck, drop lift. Shimmy, it's hard to say. The Saidi, but it's quite soft. Breathing all the way through. Tune into your story. We've got 4 each side. Feel it building up. Gradually, the tension building. Here we go. Feminine aspect. Slow it right down. Or you might choose to improvise with the veil to this section. Tuning into how soft it is at this point. Maybe you feel it grow. Get ready, crescendo. Here we go. So you might dance the Saidi or wow. Oh, did you feel that? Wow. Okay, so that was amazing, gorgeous. I'm going to assume that everybody is kind of quite clear on what is happening at different stages throughout the piece. If you're not sure of something, do drop me a comment. That's for you, everybody who, all our Patreon folk, all these ladies who are live with me right now, but also if you're on YouTube and you're not sure of something within the piece, drop a little comment. I'd be delighted to answer your questions on it. Just one little choreography add-on for you in this session, and that is when we come into the gorgeous, really slow, feminine aspect with the figure of 8 on a vertical. What I want you to do is bring your gaze with that movement. So as your hand starts to come up, the gaze starts to come with it. And back to the other side, and your gaze comes with it. So the head actually comes down in center and out along the fingertip. And it comes back through center and out to the other side. So there's this kind of semicircular motion happening with the head there. And of course, it's extremely slow. If you think that you're going nice and slow, slow it down some more. Chances are, because often there's adrenaline when we're dancing any aspect of a choreography, and that could be fear, it could be excitement. They are so closely linked in the brain, your body doesn't know the difference. So if you feel like you're feeling fear, shift it up. Get yourself excited, and then get yourself super relaxed by coming back to your breath. Breathe as you come into the piece, and that could regulate the speed that you travel at with that as well. Wow, 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 wow. Let me just double check in case there was anything else that I wanted to go over with you in this session. Not so much, just like in the next session, just to share that in the next session, we're going to practice that through. We are going to talk about things like costuming for the piece, and we're also going to talk about things like how we can actually connect as a global community and dance this dance together. So I danced this piece a few years ago now, maybe 2 or 3 years, since we had the whole COVID thing. I think it was about 2 years ago. And we danced this piece as a collective of women of all different ages, shapes, sizes, backgrounds. We are totally different people, but we are unified in that we are all women who really live from the heart. And so we danced with one veil, and the veil signified all of that. I'll talk to you about that more in the next session. I cannot wait to share that with you. Wow. I told you at the beginning this piece was a little bit different to any others you'd maybe done before. My goodness, it is. Thank you so much for being here. Whee! If you've been enjoying this 6-week course of belly dancing classes with me, Lindsay Marie Silver, here at Little Egypt Studio in Scotland on YouTube, you might enjoy clicking subscribe, push lots of buttons, let us know that you're here. It'd be lovely to connect and find out what you really enjoy about the sessions. You might also consider joining us live in the sessions, because all of these sessions on YouTube are actually recorded live with our Patreon subscribers. And they're there as members, and they get access to a whole host of classes every single week, and lots of articles and sneak peek shares, lots of things that are happening in our little community. It's a group of friends coming together. Oh, and we've got a Wild Woman book club that we've just started. We're reading Women Who Run with the Wolves. And if you've not heard of that book, you should look it up. Check out our page. It's patreon.com/Little Egypt Studio, and I will love to see you there.